Hello and welcome to Science Never Stops. I'm your host, Joseph Vick with the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and I'm here in my kitchen preparing for today's experiment. And today's experiment happens to be Icy Worlds. So creating our own icy worlds, being an astronomer and discovering our own icy worlds, and being engineers that develop technology to go and explore them. Whether it be to fly by them, whether it be to land on them, and to explore them. So we're going to dig deep, explore further, and create our own icy world. Now, to create your icy world, I recommend you do it in your sink with access to your tap, because you'll need to fill your balloon with water. I also recommend you have a funnel handy, but if you don't have a funnel, that's okay. You can still fill the inside of your balloon through the opening of the balloon. I'm going to add balloon opening to the funnel, and I have collected a few things to add to my icy world. So I'm going to add some grains of rice and a few M&Ms. Oh, that one won't fit through the funnel. I have some star confetti I'm going to add. And to get the others, I'm going to take the funnel off, add M&Ms, add a few rocks I picked up doing a hike, there we go. Make sure it goes down on the inside of the balloon. And I have some glitter glue. I'm going to add some glitter glue to the inside of my icy world. Whatever you want to add to your icy world, it is up to you. Whatever you have available. There we go. And food coloring. You can add a mixture of food colorings. I'm going to add this light blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want it to be a deep blue color. Now the next thing you have to do is fill your icy planet. Next, attach it to the tap. I do recommend you have your parents do this. Hold in place and fill it so that it reaches about the size of a baseball or softball. Go. Gently remove it so it doesn't splatter. Tie the top. And I do recommend you put this with the tied section down in a bowl, a freezer safe bowl, and then set this in your freezer for 48 hours. So it has enough time to freeze completely. Now it's been 48 hours since we last put together our icy world and pulled it out of the freezer. I do recommend you get a larger bowl and continue working in your sink because of the icy orb melting and condensation from the cold. So I'm going to remove it from the container that I used in the freezer. And you'll need to have some of the following tools available to start working and exploring your icy world. Those include scissors to remove the balloon, a magnifying glass to discover things deep within your icy world, a flashlight to shine into and discover things deep below the surface, spoons, forks, or chopsticks to help dig and explore. Now the first thing you need to do is take your scissors and very gently cut a little hole and then peel back the balloon from your icy orb. And set that down in your bowl. And you can see, I'll bring it closer. There you can see some of the things that we've added. Some have fallen down to the southern pole. But with your icy world, you have your North Pole, South Pole, and your equator. First thing, I recommend taking out your journal. And writing out your observations. What you see on your icy world. I see some swirls, I see some raised edges, some bumpy mountainous regions at the top, and a flatter surface at the southern pole with lots of various colored debris fields. I see some white areas, some blue areas, some sparkle, so maybe that sparkle could be some mineral deposit. So describe and draw out what you see on your icy planet. Also, I recommend some paper towels handy because your hands will get wet. So, take your flashlight and shine it on the surface of your icy world. How reflective is your icy world? Because when astronomers look out and they discover far distant planets, some of the features they look for is how reflective it is. Its closest star and how it reflects light, and a certain amount of reflected light can be indicative for ice covering a planet or ice covering a moon. NASA is very excited and looking toward exploration of one of Jupiter's moons called Europa. Europa happens to be a very unique world in the fact that it has more water than all of Earth's oceans combined, and Earth is about 70% water already. So when you have water, there's potential for life. And take your magnifying glass and look closely, magnify the regions around, because if NASA was sending a probe, it would take technology that would allow them to take up-close photographs of the surface, whether it be a flyby, whether it be something that would land on the surface and drill holes. They would have camera technology that would allow them to look at, to circumnavigate either polar regions or equatorial regions of your icy world. So take a closer look and sort of explore some of the coolest regions of your icy world. There happens to be a crater in mine on the very northern pole. Zoom in there. See the crater right there. So that's exciting. Next is to dig deep. So not only exploring with a flyby type situation, dig deep into your icy orb. Now, my icy orb is still very hard, and you'll find that your icy orb is very solid due to the 48 hours inside of the refrigerator or freezer. But try to find the best tool. You may want to use a spoon and scrape some of the layers off side by side. On the northern regions, the equatorial regions, it's up to you. You are your own explorer, exploring your own icy world. Once you find things in your icy world, draw them, write them down in your journal. Also, take note of, once it melts, what kind of chemical colors do you see? Does the color change when it melts? So work on your icy orb, work on your icy world until it completely melts away, and see what's all the way on the inside. See the layers, each one as they go down. Ask yourself the following questions. What did you find? What difficulties are there in planetary exploration? And what better NASA tools would you use to explore future icy worlds? And share your icy worlds in the comments below so all of us astronomers watching can take a look and discover with you your own icy worlds. So with that, remember, science never stops.